Hey guys, what's up? One Berserker here, and this is a commentary 1 versus 1 battle. I am playing as the Getae, going up against Suebi. I have a new army here that I'm testing out, and this was my first time using it, so I was pretty excited, but also a bit nervous to see how it would face off against Suebi, especially since I'm going up against Fast Charge. So I've got 3 bow horse, 4 heavy spear, 4 armored spears, 4 axe warriors, 3 spear horsemen, 2 Thracian peltist, 2 noble swords, and 2 Dacian heavy bowmen. So definitely something different. The reason I didn't go with 4 heavy archers is because I like having the added benefit of once the engagement starts of the peltist. I think they're very good for close quarters, obviously, but what's it called? They're also good for specifically focus firing on units like swordmasters or cav units, actually, for that matter. I am gonna mute this chat because you can't do anything when you're in a Steam group chat. All right, so I'm going up against a Suebi I have never seen before. He has 2 scout riders, 4 club levy, 2 slingers, 3 spear levy, 5 swordmasters, 3 bloodsworn, and then a noble rider fast charge general. So that center is worrying. 5 freaking swordmasters. I only have 2 noble swords. So that's very difficult for me to take him on in a straight up fight, and especially with fast charge. I mean, that he could easily run me over with this army if I'm not careful. So I knew I had to keep my distance, but at the same time, I sort of have a skirmish advantage here. I am shooting some units, mainly the club levy currently. So I'm trying to get my archers up. Since his slingers are on the wings, I can freely shoot in the center here. And you can tell with my army, I didn't go in the long double line formation. I did multiple lines. There was a reason for that. And I also did it in sort of a way where these are their own flanks. And the reason for that is so the army can be more mobile and fight, like, how do you explain that? It's more mobile, basically, because I feel like one line, like the Suebi army, actually, in this exact scenario, he has to go forward, but I have these double wings that I can pull off of the army, and the center can stand on its own, so that's why I did that. Now I'm just shooting the crap out of him right now, so I had to keep watch of those Germanic slingers. They're very devastating. So the start is kind of slow. It's basically a game of cat and mouse. I'm just trying to shoot him. He's trying to get into a melee fight with me. I don't want that though. And now I keep trying to charge his units, but he always has a second one right there. So I almost got away with it. And I also had to watch out for those scout riders. If they engage with my bow horse, they will tear them apart. You can see I'm getting good shots on him. Now I got kind of greedy there in terms of my arrow shots. I probably stayed way too long. I should have ran away a little bit sooner. If he was fast enough, he could have caught me, and he actually almost does here, and that would not have been good, because this would be the perfect engagement for him, and not the perfect engagement for me. And now, okay, so my opponent, so his army stops moving for a second, and then he goes into conga line mode here. I don't know what happened, if he misclicked or what, but my assumption is that he selected his entire army and clicked behind me, but he didn't have his army in a locked group, so it broke up the formation and did this. I have done that before. Oh my gosh, it's painful. But the reason he did it is, you'll see some, especially people with fast charge, do it. They'll click behind the person's army, and then as their army is running forward, they'll give out the attack orders. It's really difficult, but it's very fast and effective if you do it correctly. Now, sadly, my opponent kind of gets caught off guard there. By the way, I lost a bow horse to his scout riders. He just killed it, and he's about to engage the other 2. So I am gonna pounce on my opponent. I probably shouldn't have done this. This was probably one of my most, what's the word? I don't even know how you would say it, but definitely not a fair fight for my opponent. But I took advantage of it. I mean, It's a game. You're trying to win, right? Now, I accidentally make a mistake here, though, and my axe warrior gets stuck fighting like 6 units over there, so he's gonna get torn apart very quickly. He actually got charged by like several swordmaster and multiple bloodsworn. He's gonna die really quickly, sadly, but he's pinning that entire flank down, which is really nice. I'm trying to keep my bow horse alive, but it's so much micro that I really can't. Now he brings up a swordmaster to counter my axe warrior. I'm gonna run away here, and I'm gonna bring up my spear horse just to pin him down and keep him in place. That'll give me the advantage in that fight. And you can see his club levy. They're blunting my charges. Actually followed up very well with the swordmaster there, and he will crush this unit. But here come the peltists, and I am immediately activating them as quickly as possible to get in that fight and help out against those swordmasters. You can see I do finish off his scout riders, which was a big relief for me, but he did take it down the majority of my bow horse. Now I am engaging here, but this, even though I stopped his charge, this is still not going to be a fair fight. My axe warriors are still going to lose, but that'll just allow me to have a bit of a more fairer fight, I guess you could say. I am outflanking my opponent here. Now I got stuck. I was trying to take advantage of the gap in the center, but I got stuck on this club levy over here. So my general kind of is taking a bit of a disadvantage in terms of a fight, but I give him headhunt and battle rhythm, and I am quite positive he can hold off on that on him by himself. My opponent accidentally ran through because he had an attack order on my spear horse. That wasn't his fault, and it hurt him a lot, actually. He lost a lot of swordmasters there. He doesn't need to do this, but he's bringing up another swordmaster. That's a big mistake, but the armored spearmen are holding out, so if he wants to put more swordmasters in that fight, I am fine with it, because my Thracian peltists are having a field day back here, throwing javelins in. I probably could have moved them over a little bit. So as you can see, this is the battlefield right now. I have a swordmaster over here surrounded, but even then, it's just by axe warriors and an armored spearman. He could actually really probably win that, honestly, if he had a little bit of a cav charge could change that fight for him. My general's winning in the center. I'll give him second wind in a second to fix that situation up because he's very tired now. He breaks through in the center, which was very surprising. I thought my peltist would have finished him off before he could have, but they're just not getting the kills. Probably I'm shooting this unit way too much, and you can see I'll fix that, and now everything is targeting this unit. Here comes the fast charge, and now this you have to keep into consideration. By the way, his general's dead, so his morale is plummeted. These units are still deadly units. His swordmaster of 151 can still turn the tide of this fight very quickly. If he takes out my general, that could end this battle for me immediately, but he's going to go into this fight. I think it was activated. It was, so he has a 52 charge bonus. This swordmaster noble sword will get eaten alive by this point. It's tired and it's surrounded now, and it just got fast charged, so it's not going to last much longer. He is going to catch my armored spearman over here, and that unit will basically be dead because that bloodsworn will tear them apart very easily. Actually, the armored spearmen are not a good unit. So I take out the first swordmaster, and actually he pulls out the unit to go back in the center, and I think that was a big mistake because I've got these untouched skirmishers that are just pouring down fire. This cav unit just got friendly fired to the freaking oblivion, but that's fine. So I'm bringing over an armored spearman. I got my axe warriors outflanking this bloodsworn here, and my opponent's army is just kind of falling apart here. He had a lot of vulnerable units, and it's starting to show. And now I've got these Thracian peltists in melee. They're not bad in melee, but against the swordmaster, they are not going to last long. And they're also tired. I use the... they have a quick reload ability, right? Yes, I used the quick reload ability on them, so... And now I'm getting my bow horseman. I use it to rear charge this bloodsworn, so he'll break, and it actually does work out pretty well. I didn't think it would, but he was out of ammo, so I just threw him in there. Bow horsemen die literally on impact. They're so freaking vulnerable, and they're just getting shot now by those Germanic slingers. So, with a dead general, and most of the units are breaking here, Suebi isn't going to be able to last much longer. I'll admit, though, his swordmasters put up one heck of a fight, and this one has been fighting for the entire game against one of my noble swords, so that is definitely impressive. And that was one of my fears. He had 5 of these swordmasters. He could have, if he got a fast charge on all 5 of those swordmasters, I don't know how I would have dealt with it. Obviously, I would have had to run away, but I don't know, he could have caught me pretty easily. When I shot his general unit, I didn't think he was dead yet. I didn't notice that during the live battle. So I thought that if I killed him, it would just end the game, but he was already dead. This Suebi army is actually pretty cool, and I'm tempted to try it. I did like it. The only thing for me, though, is it just lacks cavalry, which I like my cavalry. Even in this army, I had 6 of them, so yeah, he only has 3. This army could actually be pretty useful. I don't like the swordmasters, but even then, still, that's a strong army, and I would use the swordmaster just because I think it goes with the army. So my 2 noble swords doing fantastic, getting lots of kills. Both got a double chevron. My archer's doing pretty good, and my Thracian pelt is doing really good. This one got 90 kills and a chevron. Spear horsemen, they suck. They're not going to do a whole lot, honestly, but this one did get 126 kills and a chevron, so that was nice. The Getae horsemen are absolutely terrible. I don't like them at all. Then the bow horsemen doing pretty good, 137 and 88 kills. This one only got 13 though. And then the axe warriors, actually 117 and 128 are really nice. 65 and 73 aren't bad either. Then the noble armored spears getting 229 kills. I'm almost positive that was on a spear levy and club levy. There's no way that unit got that many kills on good units. Then this one getting 190, the other two getting 66 and 89. Not bad. Armored Getae spearmen suck so badly, and it's kind of like pitiful because, you know, historically speaking, the Getae were a tough tribe in Dacia, and they resisted Rome for a while, and their tribesmen were not as weak as this game represents them. So, the Suebi general doing alright, getting 76 kills. The two Germanic scout riders actually did good because they killed a lot of my bow horsemen. One Germanic slinger getting 99 kills is actually really nice. And then the Bloodsworn still doing really good, 146, 116, and 83. Those are good kills considering his situation was as bad as it was. The Club Levy obviously not doing that great. Obviously Spear Levy not doing that great either. And then the Swordmaster is doing really good. Like, look at the kills I got, even in that situation. When I had him pinned down as much as I did, he still was able to stabilize the Swordmasters and use them well. Enough to get a lot of kills on them, honestly. I was not expecting them to come out like that. But, obviously, when you're speaking in this type of army, a lot of your units are going to die. The only good units are the Noble Swords, so... honestly, the Getae army I have here is so mediocre. It can get trampled very quickly. But I did definitely get a lucky engagement there. I think I still could have pulled it out if it was a normal engagement. Although I will say this: if that was a fast charge arm, if his army got fast charge, that would have been difficult to counter. That would have been hard. I don't think I would have been able to do it very easily. The only thing I could think, if he did fast charge, I'd either run forward at him as fast as I could before his units fast charge, but that'd be a mistake because I still had to cut through the club levy, and by the time I do, his Swordmasters would have activated on fast charge. So the only thing I could think of having done is just run away and wait for the fast charge to wear off. It's possible, but it's not easy. So I think this Getae army is really nice. Sadly, there's no Falxmen in it, and if you don't play Getae with Falxmen, then you're a noob. I'm just kidding. Falxmen, this is not the unit they should have come up with. In Rome 1, they were very deadly, but they're just like literally naked guys carrying freaking farm tools, which historically it proved to be a deadly weapon, but in this game it is not at all a deadly weapon. So I just wish they could have made the unit a bit stronger and tougher, just so it doesn't die on impact. Though combined with like armored or noble spearmen, it could Falxmen do very well. But it's just having to micro like 4 or 5 Falxmen cycle charging is so difficult. It's not an easy task. So this army, the reason, by the way, I'll just clarify this really quickly because I have a feeling some people are going to be wondering why I didn't take Dacian heavy skirmishers over the Thracians. Well, there's a very simple reason for that. Thracians have 41 missile attack and Dacian heavy peltas have 32. The only difference between these two units is that the Dacian has less attack, more weapon damage, and less defense and more armor. It's got less morale and less health. So, in my opinion, if you're playing Dacia, you might as well take the Thracian pelts if you have the ammo for the 41 missile attack. That is a lot. The archers have 35. 32 just isn't enough, in my opinion. But in terms of, I guess, if you needed your money, well, see, in this scenario, I wouldn't even get the heavy pelt skirmishers. I just get the regular ones because they have the same missile damage. That's ridiculous. Why? But, I mean, they suck in terms of other stats, but yeah, I just take Thracian peltas. I think they're very good. And, it's really all. Yeah. And for those of you who are wondering why I didn't take more noble swords over armored spears, because I'm weird, that's why, and I like spearmen. So, that is all. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.